We're under caution for the 5th time as we are into the countdown laps, less than 10 to go. 2 Talladega Busch Series races have been settled by a last lap pass. In 1992, Ernie Irvan beat Dale Earnhardt on the last lap. And in 99, Terry Labonte passed Joe Nemechek on the final lap to win it. Dick Berggren.
With Bono Mannion, and his guy is leading the race. That's Martin Truex as the laps wind down. What do you do from here? How do you keep that thundering herd behind you?
That's a good question. Martin's been wondering the same thing. He said he needs an aspirin. He's been thinking so much after the race, but I think this caution helps a little bit, but it'll be probably 4, 5, 6 laps to go when we get back to green. Just try to get a good restart, stay out front.
And those 4, 5, 6 laps are going to be the most interesting and important of the whole day, Mike.
That's for sure. Truex, Jason Leffler in second, and don't discount Leffler. Although Robbie Gordon seems to have had the strongest car here today, Leffler's been up and beaten around the top 5 most all afternoon.
What's going to be interesting on the restart is it's going to take a lap to a lap and a half for sure just to get up to speed. So I think you're going to see some of the guys lay back a little bit on the restart. Hornaday, naturally, he won't. But I think they'll try to get that run, Darrell. You know, that run off that turn 2 and use that back straightaway to get up to speed. And then I think it'll get real exciting through the trioval.
But, Jimmy, that's where Martin Truex can't be snookered. Not a lot of experience at these speedways. He can't get a big lead on these guys.
No, I think that Dale Jr.'s already told him about that. And he's got a strong race car. It's going to be a heck of a finish.
Tomorrow, the Aaron's 499 for the Nextel Cup Series right here at Talladega on Fox. And here we still have 26 cars that'll restart on the lead lap. And all of them, the way things sort out here, have a chance to win it.
I was just thinking about Neil Bonnet, and he turned over right here in this trioval.
Yeah,
remember that?
Driving for Richard.
Driving for Richard when he was trying to make a comeback.
Yeah, driving the Bass Pro Shops 31.
31
it was.
Yep, it was the first time Richard had used the 31 was for Neil. They're going to call this a quickie yellow, which means that everybody can pit the first time by. Then they're going to give them one to go, and we're going to race to the checker, we hope.
That's where we hopefully can have more green flag laps at the end.
Safer barrier you see there at the inside wall, just in front of the flag man, who signifies that pit road is open.
The other thing that the trioval has is the safer barrier as well. They put it through the trioval here. It just gives you an idea that if they know if they have trouble, it can be pretty serious through here.
Well, will anybody stop?
If it is, it's going to be cars back there that's 24th, 23rd, 25th. Nobody at the front wheel.
Chris Myers.
Well, with 8 to go, Jeff, we want to take a look back at, because one of the drivers said that, hey, everybody was racing clean and behaving themselves, and then all of a sudden it's really more a case of too many cars going too fast in a small area. Let's take a look at the wreck with 17 laps to go. 10 cars were involved. You were talking about Paul Menard in the 33 car, how well he handled the situation, being caught up in all this.
You see the 21 and the 60 kind of bouncing off one another. Then all of a sudden Mike Wallace gets into the 60, but up across, he collects the 12 car 10 feet away. And all of a sudden you see the 33, he just cut it dead left and spun his car out across the infield, which basically saved him. If you'll notice, the one car, Johnny Benson, who's right behind him, is caught up in the accident, is now in the garage area. So, I mean, a great move by this rookie, Paul Menard, saving his race car. They'll put 4 tires on that bad boy, and they'll be able to continue.
Tim Fido was taken to the hospital, as Mike Joy mentioned, for precautionary measures. Otherwise, everybody checked out okay, and that's the most important thing when you have these spectacular crashes here, which we always expect, and we anticipate more of that tomorrow.
And we surely do. And safety. We preach safety all the time as we look from inside of, on top of really Jason Keller's car, another guy who was able to miss this big one. And I understand right now that the 60 car, Greg Biffle, came to pit road, but you know, he may have had some damage as far as he was bouncing off the 21 as well as the 4, so they may have come in to try to do some repairs to that car.
And you know, check out the top drivers here. The top 9 cars are all Chevrolets. They have dominated most of the day. Of course, Biffle in a Ford, but Bobby Hamilton Jr. in a Ford, currently running 10th. But this has been Chevy's race.
It definitely has been Chevy's race, and it's going to really get hot and heavy as we get ready to have this restarted. For Martin Truex, tough place for a young man like himself.
7 laps to go, waiting for the quickie yellow. Let's rejoin Mike, Larry, and Darrell, and Jimmy.
A few new players in that group. Clint Boyer, the pole sitters, back up into the top 10 in 9th. Jason Keller now up to 12th. You had his in-car view a moment ago. Robert Presley 13th. Tony Raines 14th. Casey Atwood, Tracy Hines, they're all lead lap cars, along with David Green, Mike Wallace, Steve Grissom, and Smith. Matt?
Richard Childress told Clint Boyer on the radio, if you can get to the 2, help push the 2. They're talking about going to the outside. The 87 and the 5 were in on that conversation. Not sure if they're going to try to jump in and make that a 4 train on the outside to go to the front.
Jimmy Spencer, where do you want to be on the last lap when you get the white flag? You want to be leading, second, third, inside, outside, where?
Leading. I think you want to be leading this race and on the bottom, like Darrell said, and it's going to be interesting.
It is. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a little treacherous. It's going to be fun.
Get ready. Here we go. This will be the most important restart of the day. 6 laps to go.
Get ready.
12 Busch races here, 11 different winners. We only have 2 previous winners in the top 10. That's Dale Earnhardt Jr. as well as Joe Nemechek.
Truex, Leffler, Gordon, Earnhardt Jr. get a little bit of a break from Kenny Wallace and the rest of the field.
You know, Truex left the bottom open earlier for Robbie Gordon. He's almost leaving it open right there. Boy, you don't want to give those guys a chance to look under you.
Robbie Gordon in the 55 wanted to move to the high side. I think he looked back and saw nobody was coming with him. Everybody's hugging that yellow line down the back stretch.
Bunch of bottom suckers.
He opened it up. Yeah. Dale Earnhardt Jr. in 81 is going to take it, as well as Kenny Wallace in the 23. He's out there. He's a sitting duck right now with no one to help him.
And there's not anybody going to jump out there with him. Well, here comes Nemechek, but I think it's too little too late.
Well, I think the reason Joe Nemechek felt comfortable doing it is there was a little bit of gap between him and the car behind him, but they're coming to 5 to go, boys.
Well, it's got to be a lonely feeling. Jump up there on the outside and find nobody in your mirror.
Now they're too wide again on the inside. Hornaday back and shuffled. Herman out.
Kenny Wallace, 23.
Herman.
But that'll be a good sign for Robbie Gordon. He's going to go to the high side, make it 3 wide up there where he still has no help.
Kenny had to get out of the gas. Gordon couldn't lift, so he had to swerve.
Yeah, he didn't get out of the gas. He just made him another groove up there.
Look how far back they are again.
Yeah.
Single file in the inside, staying in line, and them guys up there battling, no way.
Jason Leffler got him loose, got Martin Truex loose, had to get out of the throttle. Dale Earnhardt Jr. took advantage of it.
Well, he got down below the yellow line, too.
Got a wheel down there. Not sure if it was avoidance.
He could have been forced down there, and they said they were going to take a look at it. If you got forced down there, that they would make a decision.
Now, Jason Leffler, who was just running second, he continues to lose spot. He's up there with no help.
Time, 4 to go.
And up front, the teammates are together. Truex and his mentor, Dale Earnhardt Jr., 1-2.
Watch the small gap behind you. You got about the same distance behind him.
Now on top 6 is single file.
You're not out of this thing, even if you're back in 7th, 8th, 9th place right now, until they get down to about 2 to go, because you can close so quickly.
Hornaday now 3rd. Rookie Kyle Busch in the 5 is 4th. Rookie Clint Boyer is 5th. Hamilton Jr., the highest he's been all day in that Marines number 25. 6th. David Green, Michael Waltrip, Jason Leffler, and Jason Keller, the top 10.
Martin opens the bottom up just ever so slightly off of turn 2 and 4, but he's got his car owner right behind him. I don't think he's probably going to pass him.
I don't either, Darrell. I think the 8 car is strong, though. If you watch him roll, they roll through the center.
Hornaday got Dale Jr. sideways.
Robbie Gordon still works the outside, but now that's the long road home. It's back at 10th place.
You got a hungry man in that 2 car right there. Ron Hornaday has not had the greatest season. His best finish is 7th back at Daytona. And remember, he's one of the only cars up here that has those 2 right side tires only. But he's driving the wheels off of it.
He had 8 there just a second ago. He had his 4 deal.
2 wide behind him. Michael's starting to work an outside lane, 3 cars back.
I actually think that Hornaday's trying to figure out how to do this. He's lifted a little bit, if you noticed, at the end of the straightaway, trying to get a run. I don't know if he can do it on his own. I don't think he can.
Well, he better figure it out soon. 2 to go this time. The top 4 single file. They put about 5 car links back there to that group that's 3 and 4 wide.
Oh, around goes Boyer off the bumper of Hamilton, who takes another car into the wall with him.
Now, caution is out. The field is frozen with 2 to go. As long as they maintain caution speed up there, Martin Truex Jr. will be the winner of this race. The field is frozen right now at the point of caution.
Bobby Hamilton Jr. got into the back of the car that went sideways and spinning. And here is Jr. pushing Martin Truex. He may push him all the way to victory lane.
Martin thinks he's got a flat tire. Dale Jr. got him jacked up off the ground.
But one thing for sure, the DEI organization, They have an awesome, awesome super speedway program. You can't take nothing away from them.
We'll check on Clint Boyer. Bobby Hamilton Jr. and Tony Raines got right into the middle of that. He was having a top 12 run when he got caught up.
Slow it down, just slow it down. They can't pass you.
Boyer got away.
He got away. He slid all the way down on the inside there, but he got away. The white and the yellow.
White flag. The red flag rule was 5 to go.
Which means that they would not restart the race. See, Hamilton got below the line, and as he came back up, he got into Boyer. And there's Raines in the wall.
Mike Wallace is still going to end up with a 12th place finish, it looks like, even after being involved in that first accident.
Grissom's involved in that in the 36, and Tracy Hines in the 6.
When I watch the 25 car, though, as we watch it again, let's watch this.
That's the red car, bottom of your screen.
3 wide in front of him.
This is through the tri-oval.
Michael in the middle. He gets a run down underneath the Boyer. He's below the yellow line, and that's the whole point of the yellow line, is to keep us from doing that right there.
I tell you, the saving grace on the 21 car, every time he goes backwards, just look, those roof flaps deploy.
Now watch the first red car in line on the inside. There he goes.
He could have used better judgment there.
Yeah, I mean, there was no room.
Oh, and he took himself out in 3 or 4 more.
Yep, he took Tony Raines, the car behind him in the wall.
Awful.
Tracy Hines sideways, the number 6.
Yeah, the Ragu.
And Steve Grissom.
All the guys that you really pull for to have good finishes, they get taken out on the last lap.
Ride with Jay Keller. Ron Hornaday's crew. See, Hamilton Jr. turned sideways and up in the wall because when he lost his forward momentum after getting Boyer, he got hit by Nemechek.
And of course, even though it looks like Ron Hornaday will finish 3rd, the crew's reaction was they wanted that lap and a half shot at these guys.
I think that he was going to be a 3rd place car.
The outcome was inevitable, wasn't it, Jimmy?
Yeah, once Junior got himself back to Martin, I think that you're right, Darrell, that he's got his owner back there pushing. And it wasn't. You had to pass 2 cars, not 1.
That's
Dale
right.
Jr. was not going to let that happen.
Nope.
And, you know, hey, man, they have built a heck of a team. Junior and Treese has built a great Busch organization.
Let's talk about the Truex family. As Martin Truex Jr. from Ann, New Jersey gets the win. You've raced against that family for a lot of years up north.
I've raced against his dad. I've never really raced against Martin. And they're just great people. And Martin's a good guy, young kid. And, you know, they spotted him at a North race. He was running at Dover and stuff, and that's where it really started. And Barney, his father, just was running him in some limited races. And Junior saw him, liked it, and he says, I think we'll give this guy an opportunity.